this worldly, with them, leave no child behind in the fight against human trafficking.
Center ekta ase, tade mobile number ekta ase. No plug lagabi digina ase de, apni kan yate dikhi pabo. So it is our request to the teachers. Morambra school de jaina notice board de tu bhawra paste kura.
Even young boys are abused, molested, harassed. All kinds of treatment is being meted out even to the boys. When we're talking about child trafficking, don't leave a child. I interacted with a girl who says, my honor, this is how the children, poor children who works in a rich family, they compare themselves to a dog. Give suggestions. Students, please.
A very pleasant good morning to everyone. I would like to begin by extending a warm welcome and respect to our Deputy Commissioner, No Clark, and Madam K. Ella, Director of Prodigals Home Dimapur, Madam K. Tiala, Hope Channel Dimapur, and representatives from different government departments, from student bodies, church leaders, and my senior colleague ESC, and most beloved students and teachers from different schools. I warmly once again welcome on this very significant day, World Day Against Trafficking in Person, basing on the theme, Leave No Child Behind in the Fight Against Human Trafficking. Organized by the District Administration in collaboration with the District Hub Empowerment of Women and Hope Channel Dimapur. We should begin with an invocation, and I would like to call upon Shiri Penglang, pastor of Noklak Town Baptist Church, to lead us in prayer.
Let's look to God in prayer. Again, then, our name is some boys, so how we are doing the Smti, Dani Hamyan, the Mass and the UG. Don't you know what you can go? Can you also mission? Zangchi do go, na mission them about Ogong the Zangchi do go, you have this for achievement, it's a way to go on the come shoot. Umshin go a tongue instead of Yana Tala, Momo and Taku, Yao, what I've done something ago. The law of power can also go, he yam yats and the house is not that. She took up and the Zango, can you hold over the yam yats and attack you. On program the Zalo, who he had no house of yam yam the Sango, our name is in Bongo, my super sudden will be so cheap, check the book, all my job. Amen.
Moving on to the next, we should have a short speech from our Deputy Commissioner. He will speak on the significance of the day. And after which I will also like to request our Deputy Commissioner to honor the two special guests.
Good morning, everyone. Chairperson, Sri Pangjung, ASN Club, respected our resource person, Ila, Director, Prodigals Home, Dimapur, and Madam Tiala, Director of Channel, Dimapur, our additional suite officers, leaders from the civil society organization, student, media person, and all the participants from various schools. First of all, I welcome each and everyone to this program. This program, this World Day Against Trafficking and Person, We have organized this program in collaboration with our Hope Channel Dimapur and also in collaboration with our district hub for environment and government. We all know that human trafficking has big issues and problems, not only in our country, but globally. This is a very big issues and problems which need attention of each and everyone in order to solve this problem. This human trafficking, this World Day Against Human Trafficking was established by the United Nations. In 2013, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution, that is Resolution E, RAS 68192, and as per this resolution, they have decided this July 30 to be celebrated as World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. And it was started way back in 2014. And from that year on, now it's been, we are celebrating this World Day for the 10th time. Those per celebrate each year, the tea is celebrating on the different themes. And this year, we are celebrating this World Day with the theme, Leave No Child Behind in the Fight Against Human Trafficking. Why? Because as per the report, UN report, more than 1 lakh or 10 lakhs are being trafficked every year. Trafficking illegal. So out of that, out of 3%, in June mano illegal traffic over the 8 June to bacha taki. Ito karne UN bra ito sai gina this year ito GMD celebrate ito World Day Against Human Trafficking in Person. Ito observe korigo kunina declare korichi, and accordingly, and almost all the region, country, good ki ito celebrate korigina jaya se. Among Nagaland TV to search observe koritagibo, but this year, way back in June, luckily we have met our partner, our collaborator, Director Kela, program that we have discussed about to organize this program, and Aji the program success it is because of mainly from her initiative. On behalf of our district administration and on behalf of all the citizens of Nokla, I hope through this program, to learn, and then we can contribute something in order to tackle or solve these issues in our society. And also at the same time, Amalan Aji Gopal Pahal, experience, expert, Amalan resource person, he is director, Prodigals home tomorrow. Amalan Lodi, Amalan Madam Jala very engaged Kurigana Taigina Ase, Ito Karnivi, Amalan Bishiko, Pahal Pahal Ase, Kuina Amalan Mon Kushi. Yes, it is not easy to travel from Dimapur to Noklak. We know the road condition, the travel time is in there. But apart leaving all those problems, about sok charigina, amangan like time digina, amangan lode agina join goina, amangan ge sikaboli itu agina ase, so itu party nam gibi si biaba district administration, atau sok citizens nam dia me amangan kusi junai dia ase. We hope that we can at least something learn to benefit our society through your efforts and participation. Ija agidi kuani sina, itu human trafficking do, ama global issue ase, isi tamor issue ase. Ama society itu naik, only na pare. We are very vulnerable. Itu lah trafficking. Knowingly or unknowingly, ama itu kiba, ama face puri lagi ase. But most of them are unreported. In the condition the other day. And then we are living in addition to the international boundary, where most of those activities may be carried and then if you look the root cause of such trafficking, such regulation. Of course, parental care in the I'm speaking about child. And then, of course, our economic condition is also not up to the standard comparing to other parts of the country. If we look towards to our neighborhood, there's armed conflict. Situation in one big itu one misina barabi amakan thai lagi bu balik. So itu kan I'm not going in detail, but because our resource person beramakan kitchen itu boleh ase. Itu kia human trafficking kia ase. Aro itu kini ka root cause key problem ase. Aro kini ka wagina how to tackle these problems. We are going to learn from our resource person ase. Itu barabi I'm not going to in detail of all this approach. Not all those things, but aji aman resource person bra aman iman time dina aman itu Chicago, Nolikobo, share koribo. Let us patiently care and at least try to learn something. Or aman learn korigina aman takir charigina natakibo lagi. We will have to create awareness or make those people aware about these issues. So, amakan aji jama purato. First, key ase try to learn. Second, chaniado amakan chana manoan ge unkai people lagi. Every time I'm telling this. Most we do not go to every village, every town, every headquarter. At the most, we are organizing such programs in our district headquarter. Ito ang organized community. Sob tsaka di ang jabali na para representative sob from Matigina. Ito ang mga niyati jama purgina. Ito program to loyase. Ito korni. Your duty is to further awareness tibuli kamasi koina chaniloli aro itu musina kampurili. I think we can at least bring some benefit or kiba itado among society pahago or ni kiba itado pujiabo no angibo ni na mo laga resource ase. So with these few words, we have a space to put in. Thank you once again.
We have a slight changes in the program. Next, it's written there that we have a special number, but due to some problem, we are not able to have that. We'll move on to the next session. Our next speaker is our resource person, Ma'am K. Elan. Director of Prodigals Home, Dimapur. And before her presentation, let me take a few moments to introduce our resource person, Madam K. Ella, Director of Prodigals Home, is the owner of the Prodigals Home, which was set up in the year 1990. It's a non-governmental organization which was started in the 1990s. Based in Dimapur and dedicated to serving people from diverse backgrounds. Their commendable work focuses on supporting women and girls in distress situations. Individuals struggling with drugs and alcohol addiction, children in need, and people with disabilities and with aged persons. And with a holistic approach, Prodigals Home has been making a significant impact in the lives of many. And it is our privilege to have Madam K. Ella, Director of Prodigals Home, to share her expertise and insight with us today. And please join me in welcoming her.
Very good morning, all of you.
Good morning.
At the outset, I want to thank our DC sir, the whole team of the District Administration Block for organizing this together with Hope Channel, Madam Tiala, Director Hope Channel. And I'm so privileged to be here. Today, Aji Ida Ina Ahadu, and I thank God for giving this opportunity, coming all the way to Nokla, to have this program together. And every minute, every day is worth it. We have come here on Saturday evening before dark. We reached on good time. The journey was very smooth, though it was a long journey, but a bit tiring. But I'm happy to be back in Nokla. This is my second visit to Nokla. 2018 na 19 na sa may ekdom bhauri jaise 2018 or 19 itu yede abniya laga Kimangan Baptist Church Association bra it is the same program which was organized by the association hi tate association laga mission center de church thandi mati na program thagise. I came with Reverend Dr. Amok Home and Asha Sanchu, Director of Nuklak Ministry. Three of us we came here to Nuklak. So I'm reminded of my first visit, and today I'm very happy to be here again. And hopefully, God willing, Tiala will have to bring me back to Nuklak again. And I want to congratulate the district administration for organizing this World Day Against Human Trafficking. Dimapur district administration organized because in Dimapur there's so many NGOs, so NGOs they take the initiative and bring all the communities together. But here, NGO in Nuklak, so but it's so good that the district administration is taking the initiative, taking the lead to bring the people, very important people for this program. So we thank God for the DC and this very enthusiastic team for organizing this one. And as our sir had said, important. We are here not just to listen and then forget it and go on our way. We are here to listen and to disseminate information. 80, 90, 100 then you have to create impact within your family, your neighborhood, your friends, your community, your churches, wherever God has placed you, as a student, as a teacher, as a civil society leader, as a the government department, information though share because information is supposed to be shared, not just kept. If you know something and just keep it, I used to say it's criminal because you're depriving someone to know some information which is very important for everyone. Very seriously. I came all the way to Dimapur to deliver this speech. So I don't want my speech just to hear and I want the message today, the information that you get today, to go to the remote villages of Nukla. Abnyan ide usore tagina bishi privilege ase. Maybe abnyan arbe kuti jaibi aro share kuribo nami bisas ase. So I thank God once again and for the district administration and my friend for bringing me here. Today I wrote this book, and I'm very sorry I tried to get some more copies, but only 2 copies were left in the office. Ito waran way 2 copy did anigina. Sir, this is Sir La officer Akilibo. Puri na round maribi, and this is very important because this is about Naga customary practices of child adoption. Aro kara regulation laga Indian legal system ra kiniga bacha adoption process to ki ase aro amian Naga manu sub tribe laga ase ite. Every Naga tribe in Nagaland has contributed towards the compiling of this book. I reached out to all the tribes in Nagaland, and each tribe from each representative wrote about your kimungan ko konyang luta sema au sub tribe laga traditionally customary kinika bacha adoption kuri wala ga hina state kitate. Maybe later on, if I get some more copies from the department, from the social welfare department, I'll try to send some copy through Tiala kati. So and this is a very hot topic today. Just recently, Amidujun Nobra had a news bra with Sumi Ho meeting Luikina, adoption garden bishi kotha kurikina, nambi nadibo, title bi nadibo, other privileges nadibo. This one we compiled in 2017 because it aman human trafficking what amen Naga laga context de. Kuntu area de amian we Nagas actually visual aman ide mani ase pramui Naga laga context de. I'm not going to talk about the global and the national scenario, but very local issues which is very important for each of us to understand. Ito borne ito sakte khalaga Naga customary practice de adoption pura laga bi ase Indian legal system de adopt pura ase. There are only 2 ways to adopt children. And it is through the Naga customary practices, and one is through the Kara regulation, Central Adoption Authority. It is duita hi ase. Khali duita rasta. You cannot pick up a child from the hospital. You cannot pick up somebody from a neighbor. You cannot go and say, "Ah, me bacha pali na muli de, ini ma mali bile na pare. Ami bacha pali bile na pare, apni lui lui de, ami ke 10,000 ekta di dibi. Lui ami ke 20,000 ekta dibi." That is child trafficking. Bacha ke bikiri gole na pare, bacha ke kushi bajai na uthai na, ami na bacha hoise adopt hoise enega gole na pare. And this child adoption, illegal child adoption, is one of the worst crimes that we are committing against our children in the context of Nagaland. And since we work in the ground, reality dikha karne, ami mondishi dikha karne, bacha ka naam kaam kura dende, bishi manu kushi adopt kurishe, olak damar hua dende, baat mas hoise apni rumala ghare na thaki hu ne ketai de. The child becomes all alone in the world because the child has never had any other family except that family who adopted illegally. Illegally adopt kurishe any time the child can be kicked out. But Indian legal system ka adopt kurishe le, itu bacha tu adopt kura bacha tu hile, tai laga bacha biological bacha laga right so pai jai, property, wealth, everything 50-50 hoi jabo. Itu biological bacha para 50 parents laga family laga wealth pai jai bole, itu biological adopted child bi 50% bacha adopt kura bishide bacha ekta nijor biological pai bishide, itu duijon bi 50-50 share ho. The adopted child becomes equal right, he or she has equal right like the biological child. Will be ita kwanish na amala context ki hoye ase bole any khushi dane adopt koribo maribo bishi ola do adopt korishe kodu amela gode helper banabole karne adoption kore. And that is not adoption, that is illegal detention of children, and it falls in the definition of child trafficking for forced labor at home. Bacha ke employee rule na pare to salary rule na pare to, because children they are supposed to be with their families, they are supposed to be going to school, not working 24/7 in someone's home. So Naga Manu laga itu la context long back I foresaw that this illegal adoption practices by our different Naga tribes of Nagaland is really going to create a huge mess, very messy situation create when I mean, Pishi Mondo Paina, it is 2017 compilation. Now today, almost all of our tribes now were struggling with this issue. And we cannot blame the children for being adopted there. It is the family who is guilty of trafficking this child and making that child stateless. Stateless ho jai de idu bacha kan do nulu na chari shu do ami Nagaland bi no hoy mula face admene naga no hoy na ki kar kure ase bolibi ami this is the only home that I know, this is the only family that I know. So suddenly I am no one, I don't belong to anyone, I am stateless, I am familyless, I'm all alone, and that is called victim of child trafficking. Na idu bujule parish na here even in Nokla I hear that there are lots of unwed mothers. 13, 14 years she bacha pregnant hoye she mota baby responsibility nuloi family brabi logole munai maiki bra sabole bacha she's just a young girl, she cannot take care of the baby ena bona kunma bacha logole munasana na as if you're selling a bag of potatoes or something na or janwar la bacha pregnant inra dugole nishna. This is how sometimes our society, our families, we behave, and you are a human trafficker if you do like that. And if you take a child just like that, you are also equally guilty of human trafficking. Are there human trafficking? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, life imprisonment. Ami la hard problem ami trafficking kure ase una na jani kina bacha ta ami pali luchi pare bolibi piche de low right na bacha itu badmas hoshi na itu bacha ko family kon ase ki ase ama kon ase baba kon ase ki busi itu bisar na haten plus the family kon itu bacha ke luchi itu la family hote aibo itu dende itu bacha ko pra paishi ami la bacha no hoy ami ko mala bacha pali shi kwa dende sab pendara box khulabo pendara box khulai na itu bacha to this family who innocently with good intentions, but illegal ignorance karne. How come whereas Babina Lucia will be, you will be booked as a human trafficker. Your whole family will have to face the consequence of trafficking a child into your family and victimizing this child. It were babies, giving away babies, taking babies. No. Khali duitado adoption agency to run lage na adoption agency run lage aro amang naga mandule 371A gana mande amya nijo laga tribal customary practices laga all liberty tigina say. So within that, only within these two, you cannot take any other route, but only these two. Adoption agency di yetele apnya la nokla tuna na thakibo itia moi jana taktu adoption agency kan Nagaland te thakadu itu an jani why I'm saying this is because babies can be adopted only in these centers, and also if any unwed mother kan thaki shukule hormone ekdom sabole na pare shukule CWC ke koigina CWC through itu adoption agency te pothai kina adoption agency through baby to adoption jabo aro dia Nagaland de adoption agency sa hoide state adoption agency, and that is one in Mon, that is John 316 run by one Mr. Hamkai Konyak Manu Mon de ase John 316 tala agency. He has a license agina adoption digo pare amian children home run korali amandu license nai, so we cannot give away babies for adoption. Aro Kohima de ase Radiant Education Society goigina idu secretary la niche pele idu secretary area de ase tai can be adoption agency ase license ase. So if any couples want to adopt babies, you have to go searching for these agencies, not through the hospital nor through source here there no. One day the law will catch you up. Law brabani ke thurbo itu temde jail jabo na naga manobi jail jabo kui khai bola ane na hai jail jabo munai bole khushi jate adopt. Aro Dimapur de ekta ase Wandang ki guna anti kikon guna lutha mano ekta program kure tai can be license ase adoption agency. They are doing a good job. Aro Kohima de aro ekta ase apne bishi mano familiar hobo pare Kohima de puila ekdam purana one of the oldest orphanage in Nagaland is Kohima orphanage and destitute home begina idu Dimapur Kohima la highway la right side of the road there tate ase mountain hilok chuto ekta de to tai can be adoption agency ase. They have a right and they have the license to give away babies for adoption. So itu karne babies to be if you want couples, if couples wants to adopt babies, go and approach these adoption agencies. Aro abnian rajana directly kiba warna pareglo do. Ide abnian CWC ase, abnian DCPU kan ase, na itu kan ke information jaina huti kina abnian kini ka korbo process to musti manambi thage musti manabi they have a right to adopt a child so na. So if you want to adopt a baby through the legal adoption, approach the CWC, approach the DCPU, taganra rasa tu kai do. So the first urgent thing that we want to address about child trafficking in the context of Nagaland and Namanga societies is so-called illegal adoption. Stop this illegal adoption because this is child trafficking. Vijishina? So kijene, ere noklak TV kumba manu child trafficking itu illegal adoption na de guilty thayo paride. Society de aman tribe sob jaga de itu lagase. Aso khundi kina jaishi bele do issue la do child trafficking bra logina bacha ke logina ami kena rakhi kena se. Itu right da amian law na jana tai tu law na jane itu bra ma puri divi idena la ke nomite. Na jane le abni nijor loss na jane le shikabo lage. Kon logde jane ko lege chaine itu hamte logo lage. So that's one issue that I want all of us to understand. Child adoption, either through your Kimungan customary practice of child adoption, where you have to inform the khandan, you have to inform the tribal hall. Amala bacha ekjon inga adopt hoishide, ajibra amian itu bacha to Kimungan hoishide, amala khandan, amala clan hoishide, ila hoishide do pichede khandan or clan khanra. Itu bacha to tai itu maike mota rahe adopt hoishe aman khandan kan amian tribe pra to ekun na jene mala bacha no except rule na par bole to the community is right. Because the couple just adopted this baby without informing the clan, the khandan, and the tribe as a whole. Because one person to become a tribe member, you have to take the approval of the apex body. So that's one big concern. I want all of us to be very, very careful, and this is very, very dangerous. Lifetime sentence, lifetime. It's not just our available no there. Human trafficking la do bail mangibule na parba be just puri divi na hanjane to inga namide will be itu apni kiman term serve korbo lage itu serve korbo lage itu ekta. So one concern is about illegal adoption, and I hope all of us will take this lesson. Ami adoption agency Nagaland kiman asa bishile the students kan mon de kiman asa bishile students kan asa to na ami time de ami bi teacher thakise to ami students kan ke bishi karabra question buti dekhe aru nabujile ami man dialogue marili ko kamna ami ni chaijobo na ami ke answer na dile do na you're here because you're very important to know, and you have to go and share to your parents, to your father, mother, auntie, uncle busi manu angi shikabole sto jaina ulta palta kole aru ami la makade ko do madam tu Dimapur rai na ulta palta shikaishe ni ki kuna ami la makade ko do na to bhar rahuni ni, and then please keep it in your mind because this is for you to share not only for today but for years and years to come. Because this is affecting our society, it has affected our society, it is affecting our society, and it is going to affect our society if we don't create awareness among our people. There. So, Monde adoption agency laga naam to kya ase bishile? Abniyan Sunday school de Bible verse popular ra puri laga. Very good. John 3:16. That is the adoption agency here in your eastern area. Kali Monde as they be janibi. So instead of going down to Dimapur or Kohima, you go to Mon and get information. Okay, so aro Kohima de kiman ase bishile? Two. Very good. Naam ki kya asle? Aji apne pen paper ka nanishna banai. Ana na? Students should always go around with a pen and a paper. You never know when you have to write some very important points. Because this is likibule na pare to na apne so pare. So pare. Likibule bhal bra mos de. Ni ta mende mudi bodi ba. Bra mudi de. Kohima de Radiant Education Society. Kohima de capital de na. Du secretary la niche bele ko sore he ase. Secretary du jani ase to na. Tate aro ekta du Kohima Orphanage and Destitute Home on the way to Dimapur. Kohima Park na inina jagina. Take roadside highway la sore he ase. Kohima Orphanage and Destitute Home. So whenever whoever pass through, you can just visit the home and ask about what happens in an adoption agency. Kininga boy, interest pra janu bunjale. Anytime you can drop by there and get more information. Aro Dimapur de do ondam ki ase. Wondangki in Dimapur. Earlier it was in Fellowship Colony, Dimapur. Now it is shifted to Naga United. Beyond Referral Hospital there, and Wondangki to that shift to Vijayanasi. So Takanki right as. So how many ways are there to adopt children? Two. One is your own customary practice, and another is through the legal process. Kara regulation go are to JJ so detail details. I will not go into it. Mana janilo jo lebi to adoption kushi kushi no lage. Bacha ke kushi kushi nati lage. Bacha kushi kushi no lobe. Simple as that. Nijo la bacha no wale manu la bacha kushi kushi no lobe. Manu ke kushi kushi bacha na dibi. Jail le jabo lifetime bi jabo kare. Aru fine to in terms of lakhs praterabo. 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 25 lakhs, even in terms of 50 lakhs, depends on how many complicated cases it arises out of illegal adoption. Which is not illegal adoption though, child trafficking. Leave no child behind while though, bacha ekta paigina kushi kushi division, itu bacha ge child division, like a traffic over division. And you and I will be responsible for victimizing this child, this baby, if we don't share this information. Okay, now I'm done with this illegal adoption. Amigan, I'm not going to directly deal into it, but why I'm going to share this to connection. Prodigals as an organization, we were and we are still working with people who struggle with drug addiction, people who struggle with alcohol. Now, in the initial time, we were dealing only with drug addicts and alcoholics. But in the process, we realized that many of the children, earlier to one bacha lo de kam kure de, lebi aman ki karne bacha lo de kam kure suru kure shibule, baba amma modu dawai kha manula bacha bi bishi dukase. The victims of alcoholic parents, alcoholic father and mother, who are the victims? The children are the victims. And when the children are victimized because of parents' addiction, children can become addicts themselves and get into peddling, drug trafficking, human trafficking, because trafficking has lots of money involved. Ido world laga business laga de सबसे बेसी पैसा तीनटा business तीनटा से manu laga business manu ni bikri korea itia illegal adoption lana itu bacha 20,000 ra loi lubi itu bacha 1 lakh ra lubi itia bishi jaga de itu illegal adoption laga de international de bishi case ulai ase bacha ke sale kore in terms of lakhs millions and billions paisa ra bacha ke bikri kore because some couples are desperate to buy babies at any cost. It was something tinta lucrative business in the world is one is the business of human trafficking, one is the business of drugs, one is the business of guns. Itu tinta. Sabse paisa ek baar paisa bishi pai very lucrative. Paisa pat pop right ne. So many people are tempted to get into these three businesses: drugs, guns, and human trafficking. There. Itu karena when young people or anyone is desperate for money, they will do anything, even to the extent of kidnapping children and selling them away. Now, bujishina, wiki karena itu economic position of the family. Baba ama modu khaigina, khorde tikap na hoi jabule, the children they run away from the home. When there's so much of fight in the home, when there's no peace in the home, the children run away. And when children run away, some children very unfortunately run into the hands of human traffickers. Na jani kina, rasta de birai de kira, ami kile birai se, ami khorra pula se thaki bilo nai, baba ma hotai chakara hoi mudu khai de. Then these human traffickers, what do? Manugi bikiru gora manu ki kure kule, they look out for vulnerable, helpless children who are ignorant, who are not educated, who doesn't have parents who can take proper care of them. Iniga bacha kangi bisari de human trafficking manu kan do. Ami ekbar newspaper de dikhishe. Paper de bishi ulai de iniga advertisement. Bacha dukhiya bacha ke underprivileged bacha ange one support kubo. If anyone knows some underprivileged, unfortunate children, orphans, destitutes, contact us iniga na paper de ulai de. Actually bishi ne dikhe because of a little more awareness. Earlier, when we were working in this area, I did the newspaper that tweet the advertisement. Girl child, destitute or orphan girl child in need of education support can contact me when I come to mobile number. I became quite curious. So I took a clip of that one and I called up that number. And then he said he has come from the south. Indian man bahar rai she Dimapur ai na photo saramati de thakya chu. Lo ekdam na jana manu nish like that. Aya maybe bacha duk bacha ekta so apni nutu kurle se kwa I think sa NGO bole atar ko alarm ho jai because they will aware na ina una bibi buda bana me kina then later on he became a little suspicious I guess because I was asking too many questions and later he just switched off the mobile phone. So that is one way of luring poor families, ignorant families, take them away. अपनी बच्चा के पावरा एजुकेशन दी दो पावरा साइड वो पीछे देखो काम भी दी दो बेना आमियां नागा बंदे पीछे simple तो ना से आमियां पीछे ignorant पीछे innocent itu बड़ा manuan बाव bahara ina ina बेना लुई जाए बच्चा खाने इन्हें उन्हें आमियां many cases we have handled that way education दी वो उन्हें लुई जाने sexually exploit करी दिशे लुई जाएगी ना पावरा भाग भी खिलाई दिया ना बाहर जगह ने दिए पापा माँ के फोन को बोले ने दिए निजोल आपको था पाहुरी दिशे नाम अलग दी दिशे. They have even changed the name of these children. So they even forgot their own dialect. So one day, even if they're sold off, then barbhi wapas aigule na paribo. Ki karne ta na identity sab paper ki sab change kori dishe. So inega la bishi severe case ekta bacha iman bishi manu lui jaina alap jaga de ine ona education to diye ase but that was just on the pretext. The agenda is different to make money out of these children. Inega na etu garne amian ki tia bhi manura free education dibula ase de job dibula ase de training dibula ase de inega laga kwa dande check koribe cross check koribe amian ke inega ine ase de kwa dande CWC ka logode jaina aya inega ko esa amian lo cross check kori dibe na sabi itu agency du phala ase na na itu company tu thik ase na na itu kam dibo training dibo education dibo thik ase na na bana I gonna you check with your police can always do background check for you all na amian public product dikta hobo pare bolibi police kan ase CWC kan ase aru DCPU kan ase ita do child helpline nai but in other districts child helpline ase they always do the background check of these agencies who put up advertisements in the paper so don't be taken away by the advertisements in the paper with lots of promises false promises prime manugire chala kurina loigina bikiri kuri de organ transplant kore na pachange loi jana thengan apne mi movie du dikshebla what is that movie loi jagena bacha ke loigina jagena chuku khulai digina blind kurna beggar banai di do jagena theng hat bhangai digina railway station de rakhigina begging gurbali di do bujise itu arne I want to tell our children here don't ever run away from home. No matter how bad the situation may be at home, you reach out to the DCPU, you reach out to your uncles and aunties, you reach out to your church members, you reach out to your Sunday school teachers, you reach out to trusted adults in and around you. Okay? Kitaba amma waj gali dishe mari dishe na am korbi boi munai moi polai jana bahari jaina kam gori jaba ami chamara thagibo amma baba la kan jode ina ona Dimapur missing case like many children are not traced na pai jashe so we don't know whether they have been killed they have been raped they have been taken out of their organ kidney loina bikiri guri dishe na school ina organ donation la de guna bikiri guna khai dishe marai gina theng hat bhangai digina beggar banai digina lifetime begging guri na 10 taka beg guna kamai jule tage 1 taka dibo 9 taka do malik pra loi lobo it's a business for them so I want to tell the children now, so many of our children, almost all our children will have mobile phones. And you have connection with so many people outside of your village, outside of your town, outside of your family. But make very good use of the mobile phones. Don't use mobile phones for wrong reason, which is going to trap you. Bachange trap kori loi de mobile phone bra. Itu karne ki information ki dibo pare lebe andas bra manula kotha nolubi andas bra manura matile promise kurile na jabi check kuribe. Media conchina, who they check rule again. If anyone is giving you some very kiba temptation dia laga nega kam dibo education dibo ine ole, who know they check rule again bushle moi. Ha? CWC na? CWC ki ase? CWC ki ase? Do you know what is CWC? What does CWC means? Yes or no? Yes or no? Ever heard about CWC? No. Okay. Acha, CWC have to be a little more awareness with our children. please visit the schools and tell about CWC because the children need to know this CWC. Child Welfare Committee ko there. Any child CWC members here today? I think some were supposed to. Are you the chairman? Are you the chairman? Okay. So, can you show your face to them? Now, idu sirdo CWC Child Welfare Committee laga chairman ase. Tai bishi powerful ase de. Pachakan ki dikdar ase baba ma bra bishi mari ase CWC ke kubi. Tai bra hita baba ma ke correction grobo. Kile modu khai na bajagi mari ase. Kile dawai khai na bajagi mari ase. Tai bra ahi kina baba ma ke correction grobo. Tai laga power ase. Bujise aji kili baba ma kulibi bajang ki mishamshi mari laga bi ase. Bajang bi bodmas purna baba ma laga marbi khai. Kulibi situations hai kina अपनी को गलती था करना है भले बाबा ने मुद्दों खाई ना को मैं साथी लोग झगड़ा वाले जे आई ना बच्चा के मारे निश्चय बोले CWC की कोबे CWC ब्रा बाबा मांगे को था वो because corporal punishment बच्चा के मारे तो right नो होए correction बोले ठीक ठाक proper way ब्रा correction बोले निकाल से because why I'm sharing this is in Dimapur many children they run away because of abusive parents wabra kori buhiblo munna egam pulai gina they ran into human traffickers into government. That's why the connection between the root cause. Children don't simply run away from home just for the sake of fun. They run away from home, which is supposed to be the safest place. The safest place on earth for children is the home, the father and the mother. But today, because of all this addiction problem, all this economic problem, broken families, dysfunctional families in Wabra, many homes are no longer the safest place for children. Many homes are no longer the safe space for children. That is also a reality. And wherever there is drug addiction, wherever there is alcoholism, this is a common problem. And we feel sorry for the children. But as I said, I'm sure maybe some of the children also may be having parents from that kind of background. We have to be very honest. And if this kind of things are happening, tell the DCPU, tell the CWC members. Can I see the face of the two CWC members here? Because I want the children also to know who are the CWC. Can you show your face to our children? See, these are your defenders, okay? Itu kan bra apni angge protect korbo, itu kan bra apni kan laga right to khara boli dibo. Our key problem hoise dibi takangge koi dibi, tai kan bra apni angge acha inga ule na hara counseling bi dibo. Na, thank you sir. Do we have DCPU here, DCPU team? Anyone?
You're still under visa.
Yeah, I know, but I told them if anyone can come, actually, I will paranamla. But they are still under visa. Oh, DCPU na? Ah, okay. You are which? What was our outreach program? Outreach program. You're based here. You're based in Nokla or in Samna. Maybe Aji Ahimu Paragavi Shikushante. Thank you so much for being here. Please turn to the children and have a look at your DCPU. Taitu DCPU ba apni janishan na nai? DCPU, District Child Protection Unit, whole district la bacha la protection issues to taikan hote ase. CWC aro DCPU taikan. Bacha la ki hoise bolibi tate gambara kan hodi na jagide. I'm not discouraging because a lot of times I have to be very honest. A lot of times our gambaras and elders, they don't know the rights of the children, they don't know what are the legal provisions for children, they end up doing more harm than good. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but out of ignorance, many times they do harm to the children then rather than doing good. If there are any issue to do with children, kindly reach out to the CWC and to the DCPU. There, ama kami itu jani de. Baca lagi apa problems because DCPU team they have a counselor also. You have a counselor na? Or yes? Counselor bishi important is data na. Ito karena baca bodmas bishi kiba bishi. It's not only the children who can reach out to the DCPU and to the CWC, even the parents and church elders and church workers. You reach out and tell the DCPU and the CWC that ama na church itu family member ekta ase ho. Itu baca karena baba ama bishi mata kaya ase. Ki kurile bhalo bo. Ini ka koise bole counselor ra hina tu baca ke counseling dibo aro family de aro relation bhal banai dibo pare. Ki karne bole when there's bad relation, every tendency is there for the child to flee from that unsafe environment. Na? Ito karne I want you to know. So kung nasle apne ala district te apne hange protect bole children in need of care and protection wa hange kun prati bole kun asle bisle CWC. CWC meaning to ki asle? Child Welfare Committee. Don't ever forget this, okay? Aro amniana friends lang dibi jaino. Hey, amian bacha ngari ki problem hoise bole amian jaina CWC gan ke kobo pare buche. DCPU gan ke kobo pare buche. Don't run away. Running away doesn't solve your problem. Fighting with your problems with your parents doesn't solve the problem. Na? And ganging up with friends and everyone polite ho. Itu right ko problem solve no kore de. Police la ke bade jaise bole apnian piche dini bi report kiya hoi jabo. Itu karone reach out to the CWC and to the DCPU. Then yeah. Another thing which I want all of you to be very clear is that ajidu bajani bishay se adults kan komti ase, but I want, since the CSO leaders and other very important people are here, the teachers and all, I'm sure the Kimangan community has a mechanism to prevent children from being sent out of the district to work as child domestic workers. Itu tu ki hone bi ki situation hoise kole bi na pothabi ki karne hole nijor la bacha ke indika pothaise bole apni bi apni la child to traffic pulishe apni la bacha ko bikiri kuri dishe na hoina you can even end up behind bars right ki karne hole apni nijor la bacha tu janam digina bacha ke bhal bra sabau bana parents hoise che do you don't bring children into the world to give away to some homes. I think that's not fair. Now, children, please know that your rightful place is with your parents, not with some aunties or uncles or some other employers or anyone. Wait, the other side of the reality is parents can be dupa manu baba muri jeche nolibi ama muri jeche nolibi ama baba duita muri jeche orphan han hoi jaye ini ga hoise bole family manjo bitor bi sabile na pare jeche bole then they, as a Christian community, we take responsibility to take care of orphans and destitutes. We don't deny that fact. But if at all any of the family out of this kind of situation, ama baba nai, baba bra kam kore, ama kam kore, pishi underprivileged hoise, pishi poverty line there say if the only option is to send them away to some homes who can take care of them, inform the CWC. Inform the CWC. CWC will tell you how to find a foster family for the children. Not as a child laborer, not as a child domestic worker, but as a foster child. That is the process under the law. Na, itu family to palace de, itu baca tu rakili bi tan na education bi dibo, pa baca ki side dibo, nijor baca ki na pa na side dibo na. Fit parents, fit families identify kori na, itu kan ke foster family de hali dibo pare. No issue bole to kuan na aru jai na dibo kori pa for jazz ba na jai na, ekdam abusive la kore jai na, tate jai na, hang hard behind their happy situation full of correction. I'm telling you. We implemented child helpline from 2011 till last year August. Almost about 12 years we implemented the child helpline. And you won't believe, mon bishi bikhai de bacha hala situation do. Abni amra jaina tate dikhya nai. Only bacha hala situation I was just sharing with ya and our Madam ESC also just a few cases. There were cases where even children were made disabled. Mari na lengar banaina. Rakha laga bacha bhi dikhe chhe bacha pani dibo bana loigina anigina mari gina lengara banai je. Finally, when the girl was rescued and the father came to take the girl, the father said, I never sent my daughter as a disabled girl. My daughter was fine. Mula bacha to thita bishide lengara thaga mai mula bacha to aya iman tak iniga asle itu karne I'm telling you, we are a Christian community, we are Christian families, but a lot of our families do not practice Christian values in the homes. They don't love the children. Very few families, God bless them and made their tribe increase, but only few families take very good care of children. And we have seen children dying of abuse in the home. Sexually abused, it's like a horror. Crime patrol, crime biya thage na. Iniga tak ini normal family jora bacha ke abuse kuri na. Bacha to last iman biya hoi jai na. Hospital kunchi hospital kan report kori. Because the family never reported. Family quietly they took the child to the hospital because they were also now helpless. They cannot do anything, and they were also scared the child might die in home. Hospital jar them there, and because in Dimapur we have created a lot of awareness among the hospitals also. If young girls are brought as rape victims. Inega aishu debu chup kurigina amyangi information kori de. Ki ane malik khandra information nokri do the family khandra information de na to garne hospital report na but I man biara and it's a boy not a girl. So when we're talking about child abuse and trafficked children being abused, it's not just the girl. Kali maiki hi rape no hoide dia. Kali maiki hi sexual abuse no hoide. Even young boys are equally vulnerable. Even young boys are abused, molested, harassed, all kinds of treatment is being made about even to the boys. When we're talking about child trafficking, don't leave a child. Ekta bacha ekta will be victim of boy is also included. It's not just the girl. Bujishina, we've even come across cases where young boys who are working in the shop as a shop boy mali sexual abuse family the bishi porase ama ke moto through lagi ona kam korese but at the same time the boy has to go through that abuse because he was scared to lose the job. Few thousands that he's earning, he was scared to lose that money because he was helping his single mother. So children will go to any length to help their mothers and their fathers in times of difficult situation. It's not just the parents who look out for their children, but there are many parents who look out for their parents by sacrificing their own safety, sacrificing their own good time to sacrifice for them. Once some children who were trafficked out were rescued and we asked the children, "Kile amma baba ke kuanai phone kurna kotha kwaro." Aya ami anu bosti de baba mai man kipra thage. Aru tangana man khushi ba. Cho apni andu iman bhavra jainu kita purugile se. Jaina bhavra thainu kita purigile guna. Ami angi man bhavra pothai che eta phone kurna. Ama ami ke ne andu dia se koilo. Ami amma baba ke kole phuri lagi che, kole moron lagi che. So the children simply silently bore all the abuse that they had been. But finally they were rescued out of an alarm situation that happened in that home in our rescue division. So I mean, it's really heartbreaking. It's really painful. It's the truth. This is the reality that is happening. We think that this kind of things are happening in Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, America, Tatibra, right in our homes. Our children are going through this kind of pain and suffering in their homes, especially in the towns like Dimapur, Kohima, where Dimapur, Kohima, Mokokchung, these are the destination places where children are brought to work, and the source districts to Nokla, Longland, Mon, Tuensang, Kifere, that's the reality. I think all of us will know about it, but I think it's time we need to wake up and don't let anyone abuse your children. Don't let anyone touch your children. Now, when I'm sharing about this, I want to tell the students, boys and girls, because we have seen that even abuse can be done even by the teachers. Because even there are teachers who drink, who do drugs. And that's a reality. Because we work with people who take drugs and alcohol, and we know that there are many teachers who are also indulging in this kind of behavior. And you know when a person is intoxicated, teacher hobo pare, doctor hobo pare, officer hobo pare, tama right mind to harai jai. They do something which is totally not acceptable in their right minds. I want to tell all of you, especially the girls, because here we're talking about saving a child from being abused, exploited, preventing wrong to be done to the children. If a teacher touches you, male teacher touches you where you feel uncomfortable, you report to the headmaster. Itu sir ga amige ini kai na chole na daga ni chole dari go. Koi na kami de teacher holibi tamo manu jole kun jole abni angi no chogo jaga de kota mupran no kogole na kota. Because I remember one girl who was so traumatized by very vulgar words that are coming from the teachers. Sir, tana. Okay, when your mother goes to the kitty and she sleeps in the kitty, does your father come and sleep with you? Coming out from the mouth of a teacher to a young girl, and he said, and this girl, she said, I dropped out of that school because I just couldn't stand the teacher who used to tease me teasing to the extent of causing mental trauma to the child. And if this girl drops out one day, if she is sent because kitab nopuri jese abdi to jaina manu la ghore kaam korbe guna itu bacha ke manu la ghore pathai dina victimized nai na jina. Whose fault is it? Why the girl has dropped out from the school? It is the fault of the teacher who made the girl uncomfortable in the school, and the girl drop out, and she becomes a victim of trafficking. So the circle comes round and round. We have to know the root cause. Many times, we, the so-called responsible people, becomes the root cause indirectly or directly. And penalty do, kiman upper rank damor hobo, kiman educated hobo, itu manu kala penalty do bishi ase. Bujishi na? Ekdam najana manu ekta ra crime commit kurishe, ekdam damor officer ekta doctor ra criminal activity commit kurishe, law do alak para penalty bologo. Doctor bara sexual abuse kurishe, trafficking kurishe, doctor ekta bara noklak ta aise, itu doctor ra itu bacha duki na loi jana ta laga, khandan komba laga kore, kaam bologo gona rakhi dishe, itu khandan bara abuse kura bara, itu bacha do polai na polai she. Now trace kurugo do, itu bacha do kun rani she, kut prani she, ne na wadante, utu tate doctor ekta thakishe, itu doctor tate thadan, aya, itu bishi dukhiya bacha ase, morombi lage jaina, timo bore khor phal ekta manu la khore rakhi dibo gona bi, itu doctor bi, itu khoro sabi khor bitore kine ase na jene dina. We can be very nice outside, we can be very nice in the church, but the home is the place where the real color comes out. Na ekta domestic worker ekta maiki ra bushte mula ama do bishi pata amai mati do. This girl, small domestic child worker, she says mula ama bishi pata na kore bishi fasting kore koile bi kore church jaina kore aha guda amige gali gule mari gule suru kore amige bi loina fasting kore le bi fasting kore na prayer family prayer ko to malo gode sab family bra amige mari gule gali gule suru kore. This is the kind of testimony that many of our Nama families have. Not a very good testimony. If a poor child can respect the family, if the poor child says, this is a good family, you really are a good family. Now, your good friends cannot be a testimony. You cannot tell a good, true testimony by a good friend. Only somebody who lives in the home, only somebody who stays with that family in the home can really say whether they are a God-fearing family or a hypocrite. In the church, very good, but in the home, Satan nishinase. And another concern when we talk about child trafficking and exploiting children in the home, I have interacted with a girl who says, my honor, this is how the children, poor children who works in a rich family, they compare themselves to a dog. And when our children, our poor children, compare themselves and they find themselves more inferior than a dog, what kind of human family are we? What kind of human beings are we? And I'm talking from experience. Kita properly na kuha na din, movie rasay na kuha na din. But it's a real life we have touched, we have faced, we cried with them. These are the realities that our children are going through in our state, in our society, and in our home. So, don't ever send your children away. Unless the CWC says, yes, that's a good family. Unless the DCPU, they do a home study of that family and says, yes, this is a good Christian family. They will really take good care of your children. Because human relationship as such is that we need each other. We need each other's help, and we need to take the help of each other, whether related or not. If we're Christians, then we're all connected as a family, as a Christian family. So if we're able to take each other, each poor children, as a Christian family, as my own child, destitute bacha, orphan bacha ke morom kurbi koi na. So even if the law doesn't say anything, if we are Christians, we may not even know the law, but we will love our children. We will take good care of our children. But we don't even obey the Bible. We don't even obey the law. We don't even obey our customary practices. Because from what I read in this book about customary practices, our ancestors, they really took care of orphans and destitutes. They took care. Tradition, they said, there is a tradition in the Naga society taking care of the underprivileged, of the marginalized, poor and destitute. Manishna, we have become so educated, we have become so complex, we have become so westernized, we think ourselves so advanced that we are losing all the human values of our customary, of our forefathers. We are holding the Bible and going to church, but we really do not obey what is written there. Jesus said, love all the children, because all the children are created in the image of God. Whether it is a Hindu child, a Muslim child, a Christian child, a Naga child, a non-Naga child is a child. You cannot discriminate. Jesus never said discriminate a poor child. So when we're talking about human trafficking, the Bible or human trafficking law, if you obey the Bible, you will obey the trafficking law. If you obey the trafficking law, you're obeying the Bible. So the Bible and the law, it goes hand in hand. It talks about justice. It talks about fairness. It talks about love. It talks about compassion. And human trafficking, there is no love, there is no compassion. Human beings become commodities to sell and buy and make money out of that human commodity. Human trafficking, you become a commodity. Itu baca no hoy jeshi to. Ami kini bar mani itu baca lote kiman extract na muila kam kore debo. Morning bar rati tak nukuma tak homole ne debo. Kam di thagibo. Poor child. Traffic korise, khore rakhi dishe. Bacha ita inga hoise. Ami to morning de bhat pi na khai na jai. Many of the families who send their children to Dimapur Kohima, Hal, Brasai to Guna, itu baca hoise. Ami to morning de bhat pi na khai. Morning de uthigina auntie la bacha ham saigina bhat kan gusul burigina bhat kan khilaiba. Tara uniform lagina school e jabo. Aro ahigina school e jab jide ahina bhat khai. So gore school e jaina wabas guna ahaden de bishi batu bhat na thaki jai. So sometimes I end up not even having a single meal. And it is the truth. I'm not making up, because children, we also do a lot of assessment of their children, whether they're telling the truth or not. And there are many times children also tell a lot of lies. That is also another fact which we also cross-check everything. And we know that many children, they tell the truth. Happy prana khilagina iniga hoina. Aru bar bachita malik to malis kore debigina. Malik kan nukuma tak malis ke malik skuri guna. Malik nukuma tak nukumai. Aru khor man kon rabi no thagena ami uthibo lagi. Where do the child has time to study? Homework korle time nai, study korle time nai, fail hoise to. Lebi malik prado kobo itu bacha budu ase. Pass no hoy. Itu korne taila school to discontinue hoise. That is the justification that is usually given when we rescue children, and then when we are sitting with the parents, with the so-called employers. These are the but when we ask the child, how many hours do you study? Do you get time to study? They never get time to study. They don't get time even to do your homework, so school they punishment you. So we are very grateful to many of the government schools and the private schools in Dimapur for reporting many cases of child abuse among the students. And pinch na black and blue green school de ahi thake sai thake bishi mundu pai but pula do child helpline thamanai do 1098. Do you know child helpline? Yes. What is the number? Emergency helpline 1098 1098. So you please keep that number in mind. All over India, helpline is 1098. The nearest is in Mon the child helpline is there. But keep this number in mind. This is a national number. Anywhere you can reach out to this number 1098. But they dial to to Pachangi Madhura Mano Aihu CWC or Child Welfare Committee Tamram Milaina issue address committee. It were many of the government schools in Dimapur, particularly the government schools, because government schools, the Dimapur government schools, issue child domestic workers underprivileged. So teacher Brahma phone ko na ko. Itu bacha ko lai man hati dagi thai sob dagi aur mari dina suko sob puli na kala lal dina hai aur mari dina khunta pin thulai na inna na school jai hai na teachers number report na ami an bishi bacha government schools are rescue because government schools is a place where most of the owners they will send these helpers to the government school. So we are really grateful to the government school in Dimapur for being a big help to our children, because most of the students are from that category. Then So we all can play a role. Why I'm telling this is, it's not just the child line, it's not just the NGO like Hope Channel, or it's not just like the NGO like Prodigals who have a role to play. All of us, we have a role to play. Children, parents, teachers, government departments, police, CWC, DCPO, Gambura, chairman, church pastor, woman pastor, child pastor, all of us, nobody is left out in making sure that no child is left behind in the fight. We are all together in this fight. It's not just one department's fight, it is not just one agency's fight, but this is a fight to be put up together by all of us. Sob manulaga hat to ase. Amen sob manu hat na mila taku into the fight against human trafficking is not going to be successful, because this is such a menace that just one agency, one NGO, one department cannot fight this menace. Everyone has to, right from the grassroots level. Gambura bra, abni han laga gosti de himan jon bahar de jaya se check kure na nokure. Ki karne jaya se check kure na nokure. Gambura kan. Aro nutun manu, all suspicious characters kan mahala gosti de ahi kena asana na. Itu manu ki Gambura se na jani bo. Gambura kan village chairman, itu village authority kan abni kan itu jani na thakibo lage. He garme ole child trafficking walu khali amian laga manu ekla run na pare, we need linkage. Local people they link rina amni bachao dukhiya bachao no bisare kina abige Dimapur ani dibi apni commission dibo. It's all about money, commission na. If you see any suspicious character, somebody who is not doing anything but just hanging around in the village, in a colony, then try to make sure you find out the details of the person and make sure that that person is not here looking for vulnerable children to be trafficked for his monetary benefit. Now, it is not very important. Bacha ki man ase colony de posti ki man ase, bacha ki man bosi ki puri ase, bacha ki man bahar de kitab janu puri ase, kini ka la pore thake ase, kini ka school de puri ase, kini ka la hostel thake ase, baba ma ke bhag screen puri. Baba ma ke bar thoroughly question puri. Naturally, we will prevent this from our own grassroots angle right to avoid the paribo. Gambura, village authority, Kikilaga authority, local authorities, our churches. I had a very good sitting with the church people, youth department, Sunday school department, yesterday also with the deacon board and all the managing board. We had a very, very good discussion. And I want to say, Nukla Church, our pastor is here. I really appreciate the heart that they have to do something beyond the four walls of the church. Because the church has to go out of the four walls of the church now. If we don't go out of the four walls of the church, we will not be saving the people who needs to be saved on an urgent basis. Church church desperate situation the church should go out to the furthest corner of the village and the colony and save those women and children who needs to be saved. If the church doesn't get involved in this business, if we're leaving only to the government and to the NGOs, your church will be the biggest loser because they are your church members. They are your family. They are your children. Nah, itu warne almost 1 hour. Look, sorry, I'll just wind up in 5-10 minutes. Our discussion can be So my message today is, one, police department alone cannot do, the district administration alone cannot do, CWC, DCPU, NGOs alone cannot do, but every single individual, every single citizen of the village, of the town, of the district, of the state, we all have a role to play. A neighbor, a friend, a relative, every one of us. Ekta direct kurina ama hamani benefited ta koibo. Maiki manukan choto moto business bishi kurili. Okay, I'm not against women doing business, but be very careful what kind of business you do, because young women, young maiki manukan choto moto business kuri na gao bigiri kurala business te punchi jai. Our gao bigri kurala business de punchikina, human trafficking, who are looking for women who can be commercially, sexually exploited. And I'll be very honest, we have a lot of women and young girls from these areas, eastern districts, Brana. I'm a social worker, I have to tell the truth. If I just say nice things and go away, I think it's not fair. I'm here to speak the truth, and I want to say there are many young girls from our areas in Dimapur, in the name of doing business or in the name of studying, in the name of doing this, that, earning money through the Sundar Hua Jaga, illegal land Hua, or Kumabra advantage later. Amila hotel modot kuri Amila boost train modot kuri in they push the customers to have physical relation with them in exchange of money. So the owner will get a major chunk of the money. So that is sexual exploitation, trafficking and sexual exploitation of women and young girls. It will have boost joints kande, bars kande, kude puisa promise kuri digina. Asti force no kore. That's why many of the young girls they don't realize that they have become victims of trafficking. Realize no kore. But only piche the HIV lagi jeshe tiki wa dem de. Apni kina lagi she bona hisai na sa dem de. Then we realize that this woman was trafficked for sexual exploitation, and she never realized that she was a victim. And I want the women department to be very careful to keep track of our young women and girls who are into business traveling from Nokla to Dimapur or to Kohima or Bishi Jaharu, encourage Nukuridi, because these women are very vulnerable, very high risk of being trafficked and becoming victims of trafficking. Women are more vulnerable in many ways because women are weaker. Women can be tempted more easily than men, and men are a little on the other safer side comparatively. But as I said, young boys are also equally vulnerable. But at least the young male adults, they can take care of themselves. But male adults, exploit human trafficking. Just recently, I should not scam to call centers and scam 20,000 dibo kuna salary dibo non ujegena 8,000 dishe phalo abitik pradhiana jai jabo koiso bole kiki threaten gona jabole nege bonded labor modern slavery aji laga modern time slavery mega lati. Many of our young people who are unemployed, who are half educated, who cannot get a government job, they cannot do a business because they don't have money, so they're looking for ways and means to make money, and these people become very high risk of being trafficked in the name of with a promise of job, but which actually is not a job, but it's all about exploitation, making money out of our young, unemployed, half-educated young people. These are very high risk occupational hazard. Look for options, look for livelihood alternatives, which really doesn't do damage to the character of the woman and which doesn't victimize the woman. Yeah, with that, I want to end this one. And like I said, my last this one is reporting Serra Kwanishna. Dosta trafficking of report 50 cases social hasha Puridia family union Ramanke punishment ho so look idea trafficker habitual offenders aji ekta maiki ke victimize pulishe maiki bra soro bra bui bra kwanai family ki kuise family ko bhi bui bra soro bra kwanai to itu manu emboldened hoi jai na ekta maiki ke victimize pulishe eko kwanai ro because out of fear and shame, stigma, discrimination ki ase na to itu manu kimon maiki ke victimize kurina bhera jai manunga boli itu wala report koribi. And as per the trafficking law, if you know that trafficking is happening and if you don't report, you are equally accountable and you will be punished. Poksola Guanjana, Bacha Ekage rape Corina Janisha will be lokai DJ, Amabra lokai DJ, even the mother will be accountable for not reporting to a trafficking labi equally engaze. Trafficking Vishe Gunajanisha report Kuru Lage, police ke Jana Ko Lage, Pachama Las or CWC, DCP, they'll all work in coordination to make sure that the accused is caught and punished as per the law, not as per our Kushi. As per the law, come to the right authority. And we don't need external help. We can help ourselves because this problem is created by our own self. Manubra problem problem is problem to solve. with the collective ownership and responsibility of everyone, starting from the district administration to the Kamburas, to the village chairman, to the churches, schools. And one more thing I forgot. How many government teachers are here? Teachers, how many I was told there's some teachers here. Yeah. One last question. Next time, we should yeah. Have you come across any small booklet called the Child Protection Policy, which has been brought out by your education department in the office and school education department during the time of Shanavas, principal director, child line we came up with a small booklet called School Child Protection Policy, which has everything which will help our children to protect themselves from all this abuse and all these things, and teachers will be more equipped how to help the students when they come across this kind of cases. Because many times the teachers are clueless how to go and seek help and how to deal with this kind of cases. If now if you have heard about it, try to get some copy, or you can ask your SDEO. I'm sure you will be is our sir here, our SDEO? Sir, are you answer?
Where was the
Okay. So if you can kindly talk to your SDEO also, if from the Kohima office, School Child Protection Policy is a green book, small booklet, just some few pages, but very important for the teachers and for the school and for the students. Your children will be protected, and your teachers will be the expert protector of your children. So these are a few things that I want us to understand in the context, in our local context. Global becomes a very difficult, different issue, but we have to think local and act local. So as I say, let us know the law, let us know the Bible, abide by the Bible, abide by the law, become a good practitioner of the Bible and the law, then our problem will be solved and our children will bless us. Our children will bless us for giving them a very secure present and a very secure future. If not, we are putting all their future at risk. Jeopardy their future. Let us become very blessed duty bearers. We are all duty bearers, all of us in different ways. So let us be very blessed duty bearers. Let our children be blessed because of us, and let us also be blessed because we were faithful, sincere, dedicated duty bearers, and we could save our children and do our duty sincerely and with love. So sincere worker. Thank you so much for the patient hearing. So I have to take the full advantage of the long journey that I undertook, and thank you so much. God bless each and every one of us for bringing us all together here, and I want to hear good results from the time that we spent together here in the district administration campus. Yeah, God bless. And thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for making this possible. Tia, thank you.
Saying that we cannot listen to Madam Ella the entire day. She has been such a wonderful resource person. And when we thought about organizing this program, we had just one intention in mind. We organized this program with the understanding and the realization that certain issues such as trafficking can no longer be considered taboo or alien to our society. And our resource person, Madam Ella, she has done justice to the program. And I think everyone who has participated, who has attended this program today, we are all going back home, back to our offices, to our community, more informed. And that is very important, like she has rightly said. So thank you so much, Madam Ella. And yes, we wouldn't have had the privilege of meeting her, interacting with her, and listening to her had it not been for Madam Tiala. Because she is the one who collaborated with us, and she is the one who has been doing all the, middleman laga kam through her only, Madam Ella I hope I said. So one thing I would also like to say is that Saturday the politician o'clock, and we appreciate Kuna Sado. They've been very busy. Saturday evening, Sunday, they've been meeting our community leaders, church, and give it look like district planning busy. So we are very fortunate to have them both in the district. So thank you so much. Also, mohan ite government officials khan kiman jo naigina ase SP sir, CDPO sir bi hobi aro various civil society organizations, agencies, churches Canberra, all ward union Canberra, chairman Khan, and most importantly our teachers and students. Apni Khan Matya Nishna, bishi bhawra ahigina itu attend kora bishi khushi pai ase. I think this is one of the most productive programs that we have had in a long time in Nagahe Pogo. So thank you so much and then most importantly to the students also. Just one last thing we would like to request is please consider each one of you, please consider yourself as an ambassador. Itu message aji ki purishe itu jahina to inform your friends in school also. And like Madam has said, family who be parents, uncle, auntie who be itu wrong jahina. You please relay whatever message that you have learned, whatever information that you have acquired today. And thank you so much to our friends from the media fraternity also. Shomao from Nagaland Tribune, Shu is from All India Radio. Thank you so much. Our APRO sir was also here. I'm sure that we itu photos kan to akala department naga kiba social media pages kan dibi to upload kuri dibo. And once again itu program bishi success kuri dia to yade room de kiman juna se apni sob target nide so on behalf of district administration nokla thank you once again. Teachers who have accompanied the students today. Now aji itu laga program naga significance ki ase itu han sob temuan itu print digina ase de. And so it is our request, Madam Ravi agite kunhegishna child helpline kan itu han sob number ase. And then every district has a district center ekta ase tate mobile number ekta ase. No plug lagabi digina ase de apni kan yate dikhi pabo. So it is our request to the teachers morom bra school de jagina notice board de tu bhawra paste kuna rakhidibi or somewhere where all the students and teachers can access it. Ina kurina itu jagina school de paste kuri dibi de. We will give it to the teachers.